Hey, what's up everybody? Dylan here from Iceberg TV. Today I'll be checking out the Electron Proxy and the Electron Envy. These are two discs I do not see people throwing very often. I see a ton of premium Envies and Proxies out in the wild, but I do not see a ton of baseline ones. And I feel like if you've never checked one of these out, you're definitely missing out. So I want to give you guys just a quick showcase here to show you how they're flying. This Electron Proxy has been in my bag for a while. It's getting pretty understable. And this Electron Envy just went into the bag and it's really been surprising me. Check out how sweet this Proxy hyzer flips. Look at that little drift from left to right, but it's still stable at the end of the flight. I feel like a lot of people avoid those baseline Proxies because they think they're going to be just like super flippy. But I threw that right around 300 feet and it didn't really deviate that much. Then we'll check out the Envy as well. Definitely could have used a bit of height, but it's a little touch more stable than the Proxy, but it's torque resistant and super dead straight. Most Envies I throw are pretty overstable, but these Electron or baseline ones, they just fly so dead straight, but they still have the torque resistance of a premium Envy, so you can still throw them nice and hard. And I suppose I should show you guys how they fly versus some more premium versions. We got a Glow Proxy, and then we have the new Snail Envy. Both of these are way more stable than, stable than their baseline counterparts. This Proxy's been in my bag for a few months now. So still having some integrity to fade at the end of the flight. Then we've got the new Snail OTB Proton Soft Envy. For me, this thing's beefcake. Much, much more stable than the baseline version. Way more stable than the Proxy. But both very useful discs. You can get a 10% discount on any disc except for the OTB stuff. discgolfdealsusa.com/icebergtv. That'll get you 10% off on anything over the website, and the only exclusions that applies with the OTB stuff. And that's because we already have it at the minimum price that MVP allows us to sell them at. All right, guys, so let's throw all these putters a few more times. This Electron Proxy has been the absolute moneymaker for me. It's so fun to throw. I can rely on it not to flip and burn over, but I can also rely on it to get a little stand up for me. Just a great all-around throwing putter. Got to grip lock that one into the trees, but it turns, but it doesn't overturn. Great disc. Then this Envy is just a tick more stable. For a baseline putter, they are just so torque resistant. And the flight on those baseline putters surprises me every time. They're so good. Glow Proxy. So you can see, if you put it nose up or on hyzer, plenty of stability, not just gonna flip over on you. Then we have the beefiest of them all, the super stable Snail. Let's try and flex this one a bit. Those Snails are no joke. They are very stable, and it's gonna take you a very long time to beat one of those up to fly like one of the baseline ones. Now, the one drawback to the baseline is that you are going to get some wear and tear, potentially a little bit of warping. If you hit some trees really hard, which I know I definitely have, with my Proxy, it's definitely starting to warp a little bit. And maybe after a year or two, eventually the core will separate from the overmold, which I've seen a handful of times with the baseline Envies and Proxies as well. But while they last, they're very nice, and they also come with a very low and affordable price tag. I'll show you guys. You can definitely see there's some like warping going on. It's a little lumpy, but man, the flight is still good, even though they do get a little lumpy over time. I've thrown this thing at least a few hundred times and it's still flying like an absolute beauty. All right, this is great. The wind is actually really picking up in the headwind direction. Let's really test out the stability of this Proxy. I'm just gonna trust it on a slight hyzer, and let's see if we get that same type of flight, or if this is enough headwind to have to lean on the Envy. I actually was hoping I'd get to throw this into a headwind today to see what would happen. It's just so perfect. That went so far. If you've never thrown a proxy, I'm just gonna say you're absolutely missing out. They're a really great putter. If you've never thrown it in the baseline, again, you're missing out. They fly really awesome, just like these Electron Envies. Super underrated, and I never see people throwing these plastics. I mean, that literally landed on top of the proxy. That is just such a filthy line. And people just sleep on baseline putters nowadays. Everybody wants glow, everybody wants Proton Soft. But you can't beat that straight flight. Now one I've been throwing for months. So that's what a glow fly is like if you've thrown it for months. It definitely starts to straighten out. But if I lose that, a new glow one's gonna be way more stable than that. I'd rather just get a new baseline one. And then we have the snail, which is only useful for me on the flex. Not a bad Envy, but definitely I have to force that one to get it to fly the way I like. But the baseline ones, I can just throw nice, chill smoothies out there, which in Charlotte, North Carolina, you really want to throw smoothies more than like forced ante shots, in my opinion. One quick shameless plug, we just dropped these really nice Medusa stamps. I had to pick up the Fission Insanity. Not throwing forehands right now, so I need something that's gonna flip up easily. And this has been doing exactly that. It's basically a baby trail with a little more turn. Easy distance, easy turn, especially while I have no forehand right now. That's been super useful. We just dropped those on the site recently as well in a bunch of different molds, so go check them out. So I really think if you guys haven't checked out a baseline proxy, baseline Envy in any of the Electron blends, I do think you're potentially leaving some controlled putter shots on the table. They're just nice and grippy. They feel good in the hand. They're torque resistant. They're not overstable. They're not understable. As you can see, they're just dead straight laser beams. And the straight shot is the hardest shot to throw in disc golf, but it's not the hardest shot to throw in disc golf if you have the right discs. You can save 10% on any disc at discgolfdealsusa.com/icebergtv. Get one for yourself. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Stay humble, live with gratitude. I'll catch you in the next one, and take care.